college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's
Testing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Testing. Testing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Testing. Testing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Testing.
why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While
0. Well, it's time for American Legion Baseball. Hello, everybody, from Birmingham Park in Avon, Connecticut, and a good evening wherever you are. Well, the 2017 American Legion season is winding down. The regular season is winding down and nearly over, and we're heading towards the state tournament, and we're glad to be a part of it. I'm Steve Riley, and I'll be assisted in this worldwide broadcast with my friend Mike Kenichi. And today's game is a Zone 4 matchup between Avon's post and Bristol's post. Bristol, the winners of Zone 1 in Connecticut play, and Avon, the winners. They have a record coming in of 18-4. They're post number 201. Bristol is battling for second place. Both teams have one game left. Bristol's battling with Southington. Bristol's 2 out of the top spot, and Southington in second place so far at 16-6. Bristol at 15-7. Well, Mike, it's hot and muggy and it's hot. It's like kind of a really muggy evening here in Buckingham Park, and it looks like they're out there now trying to fix the field.
Yeah, field conditions aren't great, Steve. However, I will say this, in the last 15 minutes we have gotten a nice breeze, so that's kind of eased up the heat a little bit. But it is going to be a difficult game of play tonight for both teams, and this should be a great game because although Avon doesn't really need the game, they could play spoiler, and we all know Bristol needs this game bad, so I expect a very competitive game.
Yeah, Southington plays Terryville tonight and Walcott tomorrow, and Avon has the tiebreaker over Southington, so that's why they've already won the zone, and they have also the tiebreaker. There's evenly split between Bristol, but no matter since they have a 2-game lead. after tonight. This Southington so far has beat Avon 3-2. They lost to them 2-0. So that's why they are one game out. I think Southington has to play Bristol one more time, if I'm not mistaken. Bristol at 15-7. They beat Avon 1-0. Then they lost to them 4-3. So their series is split so far. But they said Bristol had beat Southington 5-1, lost to them in 8 innings, 6-5, then beat them 3-0. So I'm sorry, they actually have the tiebreaker, Mike, over Southington. So Bristol, should they win the game tonight, will solidify the second spot.
Right, but it's not going to be easy for Bristol, Steve. Avon's going to go with Jake Coppin, and thus far he's 2-0 in 11 innings pitched. So, I mean, he's looked really good, and it's going to be a struggle tonight for Bristol.
Yeah, right now they're going over the ground rules with the two coaches from the team. Up there is Jerry LaPenta, the head coach from Bristol, and out there the head coach, for the manager rather, for Avon, Don Anicelli. And as his team waits on the first base side of the dugout to take the field, as they go over it looks like soft at home plate, Mike, soft on the mound, soft up there. I'll tell you, give Coach Anicelli a lot of credit. He was out here like 45 minutes to an hour early, raking the field.
Yeah, and Steve, as you know, that is not easy to rake dirt like that. It's very heavy, so, I mean, he did a great job getting the field ready. I almost think, Steve, and this is only one man's opinion, but I wouldn't even waste any time. I'd start the game because the more you wait, the more chance there is for another storm.
Yeah, it looks like the clouds have covered the sky for the most part. A little bit of blue peeking in here and there. There's no real dark threatening skies, but usually as the sun goes down in the twilight hours, that's when you usually find this. Well, there's an umpire shaking hands with the coaches at home plate, and it looks like we're about ready to have the teams take the field. Avon is in the first base dugout in Bristol on the third base dugout. Mike, the lineup for Bristol this evening.
Okay, and the lineup for Bristol at third base is Ben Mazzone. At second base is Corey Fredette. The catcher is Chad Richardson, batting third. Jake Vallette is the first baseman. He'll hit cleanup. Anthony Lozier will play left field. He'll bat fifth. Noah Plantamoro will play shortstop, and he'll bat sixth. Jaden Rasmus will play center field. He'll be seventh, followed by Jalen Benoit, the designated hitter. He'll hit eighth. And then, of course, the right fielder, Mike Lemke, will bat ninth.
Yeah, but on the mound now for Avon is Jake Coppin. Behind the dish, catching the balls and strikes, will be Jeremy Zarwanski. Ryan Olestead is over there at first base. Will Thraman at shortstop. Brad Williamson is playing third base. Kyle Emery out there tossing with center fielder Joe Susky. And out there in right field is Sean Delgado. I can't really read. My old eyes, Mike, I can't read those markers out there with the foot sign markers out in left field, and there's one out in left center and right center. I can't see them. Maybe you can.
Right, it's very hard.
They're kind of tiny out there. Well, at least we got a scoreboard working out there. I'll give it that. You know, we have a scoreboard out there in left center field. So we're just about ready to go as the Avon starting pitcher, Jake Coppin, is taking the mound. He's finishing up his warm-ups. Avon has pretty snazzy uniforms. They're white. They have that blue stripe, royal blue stripe rather, around the sleeves and around the chest or stomach area with the navy. Looks like royal blue / numbers, and they look pretty snazzy. Bristol in their typical gray uniforms with red sleeves and red Bristol lettering across the top with their red caps. Avon with their two-color caps, white on the face of the cap, and then looks like navy blue on the back of the cap, and on the beak looks like royal blue. So just about ready to go underway. What a beautiful field here. This says they call it Avon Falcons baseball. So the Falcons are St. Paul's, Mike. I mean, that's St. Paul. Right. St. Paul doesn't play here, though.
No. This is definitely a tough field to play at. I definitely think it's probably more of a pitcher's field, but we'll find out as the game goes on.
Yeah, we'll find out if home plate, how the footing is, and how it affects the batter, Ben Mazzone, right off the bat. He might have come into this game with some white spikes. They're not going to be very white by the time the game's over.
Steve, Mazzone is hitting .341 on the year, has scored 9 runs. He's gotten 14 hits and 41 at-bats, and he's also walked 6 times, so he definitely can get on base.
Yeah, as that pitch goes up high inside for ball 1. And we're perched behind home plate, but we're a little bit down below ground level as they have the field is such to have drainage. There's a ground ball to third baseman. Boxing it well is Brady Williamson. He makes the easy throw to first for the first out of the game. So now stepping into the batter's box is Corey Fredette, the second baseman.
Yes, Steve, Corey Fredette is having a great year as well, batting .406 and 32 at-bats. He's got 13 hits, 5 runs scored, 6 RBIs, and, he's definitely a hitter for this team, so it'd be a challenge for Mr. Coppin.
Yeah, I mean, looking at those numbers, that's fantastic considering they're wood bats, as that ball goes up high for ball one. You got all wood bats in Connecticut play. When the teams get to the Northeast Regionals, they shift back to metal, and the World Series is also metal. There's a good cut, swing and a miss is that time.
Steve, let me ask you,
jumped out of the box.
Metal bats have been a big debate over the years. I mean, do you think at some point all high schools will go to wooden bats? I
think so. I think, they may, the debate as soon is going to be, is there's a curveball that just misses up high. I think the debate is going to be whether or not you can allow composite wood as well. American Legion a couple of years ago used to allow composite wood, then they did away with it last year. Which caused a lot of controversy because a lot of kids forgot about it or didn't listen to the rules and used illegal bats, and then found out in the tournament when they couldn't use it. And so that's a ball up high to Fredette, trying to get on base to get the first base runner for Bristol. There's a ground ball to third, and you already met him, Brady Williamson. He gets that one one-handed and throws it over to first baseman Olestad for the second out.
Very good play by Williamson. Very good fielder.
Yeah, it's interesting field here. There's a lot of those white, I forgot what they call those, flowers that are all over the place. It reminds me of something from The Wizard of Oz when they're trampling through the poppy fields or something. It's got all these white flowers. I imagine in the outfield it'll be like a pain to pick up the ball as it goes through them. And first pitch is kind of a curveball to the big left-hander Chad Richardson. Chad Richardson, what a power hitter he is for his team.
On the year, he's batting .410, 39 at-bats, 16 hits, 6 runs scored, 7 RBIs. Definitely a big power hitter for this team.
And there's a strike on the low outside part of the plate. You can see, Mike, it's hard from our angle, but his left foot is back, way in the batter's box, close to the plate. Very difficult batter with an unusual stance, wide open, tough to pitch to sometimes. There's that curveball. They tried to hit it down and in and missed. It's very difficult to get it in there without hitting him.
Tell you, he looks like a typical power hitter, Steve. I mean, you definitely got to be careful.
Yep, and big left-handed power there as he tips that ball. Chad Richardson played his high school baseball at St. Paul, Bristol. He graduated last year, not this year, but the year before. He was their first baseman. And a high fly ball to left center field. Circling it's to left fielder Emery. And Kyle pulls it in for the third out. Well, 3 up, 3 down here for Bristol in the top of the first. We're going to go to the bottom of the first inning with Avon coming up to bat for the first time. Stay tuned for more American Legion baseball action here on Sporting News CT after this.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Who's pitching?
All right, welcome back to Buckingham Park here in Avon, Connecticut. This American Legion Zone 1 game between Bristol and Avon. There's no score. And Avon will come up to the bat for the first time here in the bottom of the first inning. And the batting order for Avon, Mike?
Okay, batting first will be Sean Delgado. Batting second will be Will Throman, followed by Justin Olson third. Batting fourth is Jeremy Zarwanski. Batting fifth is Ryan Olstad. Batting sixth is Chris Jacobs. Seventh will be Kyle Emery. Eighth will be Brady Williamson, and ninth will be Joe Susky.
Yep, and on the mound for Bristol today is Kenny Knox. We saw him once before here on Sporting News CT in their victory against Simsbury, although he was 0-3 at the time. Now he's 2 wins, 3 losses, 3 saves. Pretty low ERA, as I recall, for Kenny Knox, the right-hander. It's a nice curveball and fastball. And his battery mate behind the plate is Chad Richardson. Jake Violet down at first base. Second's Corey Fredette. Noah Plantamiro is the shortstop. Ben Mazzone over there at third. And left field, Anthony Lozier, Jaden Rasmus in center field. And Mike Lemke in right. Mike, we talk about it. I wonder what it's like to be Avon. You already won the zone. Your players come up here. They seem to be a little bit less enthusiastic, as we saw the coach from Avon doing all the raking by himself and not being too happy about it. But I wondered, they have an opportunity to determine who the number 2 team is in the zone. But if you're Bristol, this is a must game. First pitch is outside for a ball.
Steve, Delgado having a great year as well, batting .449. Interesting is he has 13 stolen bases, so if he gets on, he's probably going to run.
Yep, and there's a strike on the outside part of the plate.
He's also walked 16 times, so he's got a very good eye at the plate, and he's going to be tough.
And you can see the coach, pitching coach, or actually that's Jerry LaPenta, they're calling the pitches from the dugout as that curveball goes up high. And Kenny Knox on the mound has the glove in front of his face. Now he rocks back from the first base side of the rubber and deals. There's a hard ground ball. That may get through, and it does for a base hit.
Good at bat by Delgado. I mean, he was very patient, and he's a very good hitter, Steve. And if I'm a Bristol, I'd be careful with him because I would bet he's going to run.
Yeah, usually your leadoff guy does. If he doesn't, you wonder why you got him there. Will Thraman steps in, the right-handed hitter.
Thraman is batting .267, Steve. He does walk a lot. He's had 14 base on balls, and
wow.
He can definitely get on base. So don't let the average mislead you.
Yeah, Knox checks the runner at first. Delgado, as he got about a 3-step lead over at first base. Knox slide steps, throws. There's a bunt up the first baseline. Foul.
Steve, it's interesting. You expect him to bunt. I was watching it the other night. A guy for the Yankees, 3 times he tried to bunt, and he struck out. I mean, how difficult is it? You see major leaguers having a big problem with it. How difficult is it for kids to bunt at this age?
Well, they're coming off aluminum bats. That's part of the problem, Now you got to bunt and bat with wood, unless you're a college player. It's in a wood bat league of some sort. Slide step, bunt attempt, they pull it back as that's a ball outside. Third baseman, Ben Mazzone, charging hard on that one. Yeah, bunting is a lost art. I mean, you would think with wooden bats you'd have teams who could bunt or teams that can can do well. I did a game Sunday between Trumbull and Greenwich, and there was a lot of bunt attempts in that game. It's only 5 hits by Greenwich in that game that they won 3-0, but 4 out of their 6 hits were in the infield.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, with these wooden bats, the ball doesn't always come off them that well. So, well, taking that stretch off first base now is Delgado. See if he goes, throw to first, and he gets back that time, standing up. And the longer that sun is blocked, Mike, I think the better off we are here.
Oh, yeah. The heat has definitely calmed down. The conditions are very good right now.
Yeah, Knox looks over his shoulder, and now he comes set. His glove is right around chin high. Slide steps, the runner goes. There's a ground ball to the third baseman off his glove, and now he recovers and he bobbles it. So there's men on first and second now. Scored that one, E5.
Good call by the coach, Steve. Hit and run there, and it kind of threw the third baseman off a little bit, seeing the runner run. So first and second now for Avon, and they're in business. Yeah,
and nobody out. Let's see if they bunt again. Left-handed hitting. Justin Olson steps in.
Olson is batting .261 on the year. He does walk a lot as well. He's walked, 14 times as well.
Wow.
So these guys get on base, Steve. They don't just, maybe the average isn't what they would like, but they definitely work the count and they get on base for Avon.
Well,
which is a good reason why they have 18 wins.
Yeah, 4 losses, yeah. I know. And that's the thing. I mean, you have to execute, and now they're executing. They're just putting the ball in play, and runners on first and second. Up at first base is Violet. Mazzone up. He's looking for the bunt from the left-handed hitter. Knox comes set now. Foot against foot. Checks the runner twice. Now and steps off. Beautiful field, as we said before, up here. A little soft going at home plate. A little soft going up the first baseline. All trees surrounding the outfield. Good background to hit, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
Those dark green trees. Knox comes set. He looks at the runner, kicks high and deals. He shows bunt, pulls it back. That's a ball. And that's a tough thing. When the guy shows bunt, you just got to throw strikes. The worst thing you can do is walk him.
Yeah, kind of looked like he bluffed there. I don't know if he necessarily was going to do it, but, you know, if you're Avon, your third hitter, it's tricky.
Yeah, I know.
You want to get that guy over, but it's hard to give up an out with your third hitter.
Yeah, in the first inning. And now he kicks high and he swirls. He throws to second. It goes off into center field. But the runner does not advance. Luckily, Jaden Rasmus must have known that was on and came up to back that one up. So good backup that time.
Steve, the Bristol infield looks a little uncomfortable right now. You know, right there it didn't look like anybody really wanted to cover second. So they look a little uncomfortable this first inning.
And here's the pitch, and he did show bunt. He does bunt down with zone. One hands it, and he throws it on the run to first. Gets the easy out, but not too easy because the way he ran after it, he had to come in a hurry.
Very good bunt right there. And it's the right thing to do. Olsen did a good job right there, and, you know, second and third with one out. It's important to get this running.
Yeah, Jeremy Zarwanski steps up to the plate now. He's also another left-handed hitter.
He's batting .302 on the year, Steve. Again, he's walked 8 times as well. You know, he's got 9 runs scored. These guys get on base.
Yeah, Knox now still from it looks like they have the infield up. There's a slow ground ball to first. The runner holds, and he'll have to. The first baseman throws to the second baseman to get the out. So score that one a 3-4.
You know, Steve, it was kind of tough. You know, the ball wasn't really hit deep. So, I mean, you know, you run, you risk the chance of getting thrown out. Had he been playing back at second, obviously. But good move by the third baseman and third base coach.
Well, now that sac bunt gives up an out. A lot of teams don't like to give up outs.
Yeah.
You know, but they give it up. So now there's 2 outs. The infield moves back as Ryan Olstad steps in. First pitch curve for a strike.
But, you know, Steve, if you look at Avon's lineup, they definitely play small ball, and that's why they win. So if that's been working for them all year, you can't really fault it. They have to do it.
Yep. Nice group of fans down that third baseline coming up here. Most of them look with red shirts. I imagine they're from Bristol. So, and there's a fake throw to third. The third baseman wasn't there. So, big Chad Richardson behind the plate. Used to see him at first base last year for St. Paul. He was the DH for Bristol last year. Bristol Legion. Knox kicks high and deals. And there's a bloop down the foul right side. Few Avon fans sitting in their lawn chairs down around us.
Steve, Olstad is batting .201 on the year. I'm sure he shares time with somebody. It doesn't look like he's had a lot of at-bats, so, you know.
There's a line drive onto right field. That may drop in, and it does. It'll score 1 run. They trap it, but they don't get it in time, and another run scores. So it looked like he was just caught asleep a little bit, was Lemke out there. He's allowed 2 runs to score in that blue pit.
Great job by Olstad taking the ball the other way. Great job, and, you know, good job by Avon because it looked like they were going to waste that first inning, and they got 2 runs on the board. So, you know, good at bat by Olstad.
Yeah, and the error now costly is they've got 2 runs across instead of 1. And just looked to me, though, the way the ball was hit, that he had a shot to get the second guy at the plate. You know, said not the first guy, obviously, but sort of held everybody up. You can't run to see if he's going to catch it. The runner on second, though, made his way across the plate. And there's strike 1 now, right-handed Chris Jacobs.
Steve Jacobs hitting .245 on the year, does have 15 base on balls, so he's another one who works the count.
And there's a strike to Jacobs. So it's 2 strikes on Chris Jacobs now. And Kenny Knox looks over to first base. Checks the runner. Not a very big lead at first. The runner doesn't go. Here's a fastball up high. So it's 1-2. I don't know how the home plate umpire can be wearing long sleeves on a day like today. I'm like, what are you doing?
The only thing I could think of, Steve, is the bugs that are out here. I mean,
perhaps.
That's all I could think of because it's definitely
get some gnats flying around.
It's definitely not cool.
And the runner goes. He had the short lead goes. Curveball. Here's the throw to second base. Do they got him? Yes, they do.
Very good play. Very good play.
Ryan Olmsted's out stretching, and for Avon, that'll do it here in the bottom of the first inning. But they come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. There was an error, and they left nobody on base. So we'll be right back. The top of the second inning, the score is Avon 2 and Bristol 0.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
meeting
these 50 other incredibly talented people.
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
You're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
You also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
I'm sorry, back here. Sorry about that little technical difficulty there. We're back here in the top of the second inning. Avon leading this game by the score of 2-0. Stepping up to the plate now is the cleanup hitter, Jake Violet. He takes the first pitch for a strike. Well, that bottom of the second inning was Delgado got a single. Thraman got on in an error, sacrifice bunt by Olson. Then a bloop 2 RBI single. Did it. And there's a fly ball foul. It goes out of play right side.
And Violet is hitting .235 on the year, Steve. He's had 17 at-bats only, so, he hasn't really had a lot of at-bats to show much, but he's doing okay for the amount of at-bats.
Yep, and the 2 RBI single by Avon was Ryan Olstad. As he's up at the plate now as Violet takes the ball down low as he bangs that wooden bat with that red barrel onto his spikes. Avon catcher looking into the dugout for the pitch call from their coaching staff. And here it is. Pitch. There's a broken bat. Ground ball to the shortstop. Scoops it. Brings it to his chest and fires it to first for the out. Well, I don't know about these players, Mike, but when I was playing back in the 70s, that dates me. When your bat broke, you were depressed for weeks.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because you get used to a bat, and, now you got to start over again. It's not easy.
Yeah. Kids back then, we used to put notches on our bats for the number of hits. It's all kinds of crazy things. Get the pine tar all over the place, like, the famous George Brett incident, It was pretty cool.
Still legendary.
Yeah. Anthony Lozier steps in. He hits a ground ball up the middle, and Thraman gets it, and he snaps it over to first. 1 pitch. 2, and now there's a second out. So
Steve Lozier was batting .438 on the year, 7 hits, 16 at-bats, 3 RBIs. So he's been having a good year thus far. And great job by Coppin so far. I mean, he's gotten 5 quick outs, kind of effortlessly.
Well, you would imagine that if, you give the ball to the pitcher and you say, hey, this is a game that doesn't really mean anything for us in the stats, and the pitcher was out to prove that he should be up in the top.
Right.
Like somebody else should be pitching this game, not me. I got something to prove out here maybe. He throws one down low. Looks like he's pretty young, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? Yeah. Looks like he's, I don't know, maybe it's me, but it looks like maybe he's a sophomore in high school, maybe a junior.
Thing is now, Steve, everybody looks younger than they are, I know. 40's the new 20s. So.
Yeah. So now he steps back into the box, bangs that wooden bat around, wiggles. That's Plantamuro at the plate now, the shortstop, and then he takes the ball down low. We've had a chance to watch this Bristol team a lot through the years, and they got just a fantastic program.
Oh, yeah.
Plantamare
is 179 on the year, 28 at-bats, 5 hits. He hasn't quite had the average, but he has had 8 runs scored, and definitely works the count as well.
Yeah, he's one of those defensive shortstops. That's why he's got the job.
And, Steve, most shortstops, through history have always been, defensive shortstops. It's very rare, Not everybody's an A-Rod or a Jeter
I know.
Or, Garcia Parra. So.
Yeah. And when I was growing up, it was Ozzie Smith, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was
the wizard.
Yeah. There's the pitch. It's up high for a ball. The last one was foul-tipped, so. And now.
But, Steve, why did Ozzie make the Hall of Fame? His glove, not his bat.
That's for sure.
Maybe
it's because he was able to do that flip thing. Short. There's a line drive base hit, so we look at his average, but Plantamuro then says, you know what? I'm going to smack one right through the middle.
He heard me.
It's the first hit of the game for Bristol. And they now got with 2 outs. They got a runner aboard as Jaden Rasmus, the center fielder, steps in.
Rasmus is hitting 192. He's got 5 hits and 26 at-bats. So, again, I mean, you know, the average may not be great, but he does the little things to get it done.
Yeah. This Bristol program, though, so storied as a program. You know, they've been in that Muzzy field, such a fantastic field. I know you haven't seen the new press box yet, Mike, but it's really remarkable.
You know, Steve, one thing I've noticed about Bristol over the years, you know, at the Boys and Girls Club, they always have that wiffle ball tournament once a year at Richfield. And who usually wins it? Bristol. Bristol is stacked. And they've had girls who could hit the ball a mile. I mean, they just have great athletes in this town. They really do. Great baseball and softball players.
Rasmus wiggles that bat around, and now he's ready to go, and he fouls one foul long way down the left field line.
Good cut right there.
Yep, heads towards the parking lot here. Nice place to play baseball, though, here, Mike. You know, you have looks like a lacrosse field off to our left, and as they call it, a jungle gym off to the left for kids. Way down
Steve, when you're at that age, 16 or 17, there's nothing better to do on your summer night.
I know.
On a Tuesday especially. Than, you know, play baseball. What's better than that?
Yeah, better than video games. There's a curveball that goes outside. See a third base coach down there for Bristol giving a number of signs as Plantamiro straddles off. He's got about a 3.5-step lead, leaning back towards first. Curveball swing and a miss. That's the first strikeout of the game for Jake Coppin, but it comes at a good time with a runner on. So there's no runs, 1 hit, no errors. And there was 1 runner left on base for Bristol, the first one they've left on base here this evening. We'll be right back with more American Legion baseball action here from Buckingham Park in Avon, Connecticut after this.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
All right, back here at Buckingham Park. Also on the air this evening is another game coming from Middletown's Palmer Field. Don Boyle with the video broadcast of that game over there. The Wizard, Don Boyle, is taking that game. I forgot who they were playing, but there's another big game in that particular zone. I'll figure that out in a minute.
Was it North Haven maybe?
No, North Haven was last night. They had North Haven against Hamden. That ball goes in the dirt from Knox. As batting now is Chris Jacobs for the first time this afternoon. Avon with a 2-0 lead, if you just joined us. And here's a fastball hit high up in the air into left center. And it looks like the center fielder was calling it, but the left fielder already was planted there, so he makes the catch.
And Steve Jacobs was batting .245 on the year with 15 base on balls, 6 runs scored.
And stepping up now is Kyle Emery, the left fielder for Avon.
Emery's batting .227 on the year. Steve, he hasn't really batted a lot, so, I mean, you know, can't really judge the average.
Yeah, and here's a strike. Good hard fastball from Knox right on the outside, low outside part of the plate. It's a must-win for Bristol if they're going to bat. They're battling Southington. They're 1 game back of Southington for the number 2 spot. I think they have the tiebreaker. There's a curveball. And he beats Southington twice, losing to him once in 8 innings.
The wind is picking up a little bit here.
Yep, blowing in towards us, makes a nice breeze. There's a swing and a miss. Fastball looked like he waved at it. Did Emery. I thought Avon High School always played at the high school itself. I don't know if they play here or not. It says Avon Falcons baseball out there, big sign in right center. There's strike 3 call. They're going to pump him out there. that's the first strikeout of the game for Kenny Knox. As Emery watches that one go by, brings up Brady Williamson.
Steve, Knox is throwing gas tonight. I mean, he's been throwing mostly fastballs, and he looks sharp. I mean, the first inning there were errors, so let's see how he bounces back.
Well, then again, error, bunt, bloop, single, and that's really what the 2 runs are all about. There's first pitch high for ball 1. There's now catcher Richardson flashes a few signs, and there's the in there for strike. That one was right at the knees.
Yeah, it looked kind of low, Steve.
Yeah,
I don't know if I agree with that call, but he got it. And I guess because he threw it, over the plate. But.
Yep, and there's the next one. And that one's called outside. I think that's the makeup.
Makeup pitch, yeah. I was thinking the same thing. You wonder if umpires really do that, Steve. If they see that they missed a call, they try to, get you one back.
Yeah, there's a foul ball right back at us. It bounces off the fence and lands in front of us. A little wind here, nice breeze, keeps it a little cooler for this game. As Brady Williamson battling. Kenny Knox with the windup from the first base side of the rubber has that glove in front of his face. Now he kicks back and deals. And there's a foul ball. It's that time Williamson just sort of flicked his wrists out to protect it. And here's the pitch. Curveball. That one's grounded slowly to the second baseman. It's over to first. Low throw.
Good scoop right there.
Yep, so that one from Fredette the Violet ends it here in the bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We're going to go to the third inning with Mike Kenichi on the call when we come back in approximately 60 seconds. Stay tuned.
So While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
Okay, and we are back. We are in the top of the third inning, and batting for Bristol will be the designated hitter, Jalen Benoit.
We talked about the games we're doing this week, Mike. Tonight's game, Middletown Cheshire, is the big game down there at Palmer. 17-6 Middletown against Cheshire, 19-3.
Oh, that's definitely. Well, you know what? Your buddy's doing a great game tonight. And Jalen Benoit, the hitter, the number 8 hitter, the DH, and he is batting .300 on the year, Steve.
Wow. That's not bad for your number.
Yeah, not at all.
8 hitter.
And a ground ball to the first baseman, and he steps on the bag and 1 out. And that was Ryan Ostad right there, number 12. So quickly, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yep. Nice hard hit that time by Mr. Benoit.
Yep. And now the number 9 hitter is the right fielder, Mike Lemke, up at the plate. And I'll tell you, Coppin's doing a great job, Steve.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's firing it in there.
And then called strike 1.
Yeah, as you hear those birds tweeting away up there as they're watching the game too.
And a ground ball that's going to go to the shortstop, Thurman. He throws to the first baseman. Nice scoop. Great scoop by Olstad. And quickly, 2 outs for Bristol right here. Or Avon, I'm sorry.
Yeah, nice play by the first baseman over there.
And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, the third baseman, Ben Mazzone. He grounded out to the second baseman, his first time at bat.
One of the things we see here is a lot of these games, a team just cruises along, putting up zeros, and all of a sudden one team breaks out.
And call for strike, count 0-1. So Mazzone is a very good hitter, Steven. If he gets on base, he could be dangerous.
Yeah, he's got to be going in this game.
And that's a little looper, and it's going to be caught by the left fielder, Kyle Emery. And just like that, 3 up, 3 down. And in the middle of the third, 2-0 Avon.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
Okay, and we're in the bottom of the third now, Steve, and coming up for Bristol will be the number 9 hitter, the center fielder, Joe Susky. And Steve, basically, Coppin is really throwing good so far.
Yep, you mean for Avon.
Or
Avon's
Avon.
coming up. That's all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, Knox also pitching well. He's, giving up that little blooper to right and one solid single through the middle. But other than that, he's pitched well, too.
Had a nice bounce back in, and he really did. And Joe Susky steps up to the plate.
Yep, Susky, as you said, he batted .246, but he's on base a lot, 14 walks. I'll tell you what, the stolen bases to me across this Avon team are impressive. 16 by Delgado, Olson 14, Jacobs 15.
And a big swing and a miss right there. Fastball there by Knox, count 0-1.
Man, that time you saw the hitter's right foot come out of the batter's box.
And a ground ball, that's going to go to the shortstop, and that is Noah Plantamaro, and he throws to first. And quickly, we have one out.
Yeah, if you're doing that kind of scoring, it's 6-3 in our book.
And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Sean Delgado. It's always good, Steve, when you get a quick first out like that. Gives the pitcher a lot of confidence,
Well, yeah, first pitch strikes, first batter outs. That's the goal.
Yeah.
It's old Bob Kello goal, at least from Seymour High School. Coach Kello retired from Seymour High School 2 years ago.
And then ball a little inside, count 1-0, little high.
Well, you watch Coach LaPlante over there giving his signs in to Chad Richardson behind the dish.
And swing and a miss, count 1-1. Good pitch by Knox right there.
Yeah, you can watch his back foot popping out. That tells you his weight distribution's off, Mike, so the batter.
Yeah. And high over his head a little bit, count 2-1. You got to be careful to a hitter like this, Steve. Guy who gets on base like Delgado does, you don't want to give him anything. And
16 stolen bases. You don't want on base, even if there is one out or two outs.
He did get on base his first time up a single, and he quickly went to second on a hit and run. And the 2-1 pitch from Knox. High, 3-1.
You could hear that ball pop into the catcher's mitt there off our crowd, Mike.
Big pitch right here, Steve. You don't want to walk this batter.
Certainly don't.
And the 3-1. And low, ball 4. And just like that, Delgado's on, and I would expect he will be running.
You would think so. 2-0 lead. They're also going to take a little more chances now.
Yeah. And that'll bring up the second hitter, Will Thurman. And Thurman is, of course, the shortstop, number 10.
Yeah, Thurman last time. Didn't he get on base?
Yeah, on an error by the third baseman. It was a hit and run, and it was successful.
Yeah, and one thing you don't want is a leadoff runner on, especially in the name of Delgado.
A short lead right there by Delgado. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Good cut and a good pitch by Knox.
That's that good hard fastball he has. It's a little bit above the waist.
He's throwing gas tonight, Steve. He's not afraid to put it in there.
And he's not a big guy either.
No.
Nope.
And let's see if he checks the runner here. 0-1 pitch. Short lead for Delgado. And a throw to first, and he gets back easily.
A quick step move that time. His feet were very close together as he snapped it to first base.
Right. And the 0-1 pitch from Knox. He gets ready. And the pitch. And strike 2. Looked a little outside, but he got the call. A little low and outside.
Yep.
0-2.
And that's the one. Sometimes, even your catcher can make it seem worse than it is, but you can tell as he calls time to get out of the box.
Right. He was not happy.
Yeah. Federation rules, you got to stay in the box, but in American Legion, it's not. It's American Baseball League rules where.
And the 0-2 pitch here. Let's see if Delgado runs. And the pitch. High, and that'll bring it to 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2 is a good pitch to run. 0-2 is hard, too, because usually you get that high fastball, and you don't want him to give the catcher a little advantage there.
Right. And on deck is the third-place hitter, Justin Olson. And the 1-2 pitch. He looks the runner back. And the pitch. And a ground ball. That's going to go right back to Knox. He throws to second, and he gets him. Big play. Good play right there by Knox.
Yeah, it looked like that shortstop, I'll tell you. Plantamiro, he really had a stretch for that one. Knox threw it as he was running towards first base to throw it back across his body to second. Yeah. He barely got him. And I'll tell you, that looked like a hit and run to me, though. It looked like the runner on first did not go. And the batter swung on a pitch that was clearly a ball.
Right. But you take a dangerous runner out of scoring position. So
yeah, sure.
Good play right there. And that'll bring up the third-place hitter, Justin Olson. And a strike. 0-1.
And that was a good curveball that time by Knox.
Very good curveball. Yeah.
Hard, right off the hands. Hard to hit.
Olson, of course, is the designated hitter tonight. And the 0-1 pitch. Short lead for Thorman. And the 0-1. And a pitch out right there.
Yeah. That was a pitch out. I really thought he was going.
Yeah. Does look like he wants to go, Steve. He's kind of got that look that he's ready to take off, so we will see. Though with 2 outs, you do try to get, the runner in scoring position.
He's got to dive back to first on that one as he gets back.
And a 1-1 pitch. And he looks the runner. And the 1-1. Little outside, 2-1.
Not a bad curveball. He tried to backdoor it that time.
Yeah.
And just came up a little short.
Yeah. He's throwing tonight. He's not afraid to do that. My thing is, Steve, you just got to get this batter.
Yeah,
this guy at first, you can't really worry too much.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch. He sets, and he goes back to first, and he's back easily. But, it's the right move, Steve, Throw him off a little bit. You keep throwing back to first,
Well, sooner or later. Sooner or later that favors the runner. The ball may get thrown away.
Yeah. And the 2-1 pitch. High, 3-1. Now, Steve, this is dangerous right here. You don't want to be walking people with 2 outs, Definitely could come back to hurt you. 3-1 pitch, and I would assume that Thorman is going to run here. And the 3-1.
Nope.
And a high fly ball deep to center field, and it will be caught. Caught by the center field Susky, and that will retire the side. So after 3 innings of play, it is Avon 2, Bristol nothing.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
And we are back, and we're in the top of the 4th inning, and thus far, Coppin has looked very good for Avon, Steve. 3 scoreless innings, and he really looks sharp tonight, as does Knox for Bristol. Both pitchers are pitching very well tonight.
Yeah, they are pitching very well, and the sun is broken through here at Buckingham Park. A lot of blue sky. All of a sudden, those clouds have gone, so it looks like this game's going to be played. Well, I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like we're going to play to the very end here.
Steve, I've given up with the weather. I really have. And this will bring up, I believe, number 14?
14.
Yep, which I don't see him on our thing. Is he pitch hitting for somebody? Or?
No, I believe he. Well, you might be right.
Yeah.
He might be a pinch hitter. Let me see if we can figure out who that is. Number 14 is D. Loretto.
Okay, D. Loretto is up at the plate. We will get a first name, and that's a called strike. 0-1.
Yeah, that's number 14.
Number 14 for Bristol. And I want to say he's replacing the second baseman, Fredette.
Yeah, Fredette. Yeah.
And the 0-1 pitch grounded to the third baseman, Williamson. He throws to first in time, 1 away.
Yeah, just a big stretch that time by
definitely
Olstead.
Was, yeah. Let's see, where are we here?
Yeah, and it brings up Chad Richardson.
That'll bring up the catcher, Chad Richardson, and he flew out to left field his first time up.
You know, in American Legion baseball rules, Mike, there's no, re-substitution.
Yeah. And a called first strike, and I'll tell you, Coppin looks good tonight, Steve. He's throwing strikes, you know. His control is there, and he's just dealing.
He's the kind of kid you'd want him on your high school team.
Yeah.
That's
for
sure.
0-1 pitch here. Little low, 1-1, though I have seen that called a strike a couple times tonight, but not this time.
Well, maybe it's those stretch socks that Chad Richardson has. He has the big red up to his knees.
Richardson looks like your typical hitter, though. And that's a fly ball. That's hit deep to left, and that's going to go over the left fielder's head. And he falls down, and Richardson will stand up with a double. And a nice hit by Richardson, and Bristol really needed that, Steve.
Yeah, they did. And as Richardson hit that ball, he was a left-handed batter, so the ball tailed to the right of the left fielder, but he went to his left.
Yeah.
And then he opened his hips up, which is a no-no, and then he ended up spinning around as the ball went over his head. Yeah. And as he ran to chase it, the ground out there is a little wet, and he slipped down a little bit, but wouldn't have mattered. He would have got a double anyway.
Right. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Jake Violette. He grounded to third his first time up. See how Coppin does here. First bit of trouble he's been in. He's a battler, though. I'm sure he'll handle it. That was a good at-bat for Richardson.
Yeah, it's really important that Bristol, chip away, even though it's 2-0 lead.
You want to try to get a run this inning.
Yeah.
You don't want to, squander opportunities. Then the 1-0 pitch, count is 2-0.
Well, at first base open that time, you saw Coppin try to throw a curveball. It's nice to see a guy throw it even though he's behind the count.
Yeah.
Keep that batter honest.
And the 2-0 pitch, and Copper did it. And a ground ball, and that's fair, and he's out. And
no, that looks like they're going to.
And he calls him out, and that's a bad break for Bristol, Steve. It went right to the catcher, number 14. Where is he? Zaronsky. And, what could you do? That's just bad luck.
2 unassisted.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad luck if it hit his foot or his toe, and he'd been. Could have done it.
This is a big batter right here, the left fielder, Lozier. He's batting over 400, Steve, so this is a big one for Coppin. Let's see what he does here.
He can play with him a little bit because you have first base open.
Called strike one. Nice pitch by Coppin. Nice curveball right there.
Oh, curveball. He got first base open, so he could still nibble a little bit. We're down. If he doesn't want to pitch to this batter, he can think about the next one. But you don't want to put runners on base.
And the 0-1 and a foul tip and count 0-2. Good job by Coppin, Steven,
Yeah.
He's throwing. He's not worried about the runner at second. He's just pitching the ball, and that's what you have to do.
Well, see, the difference there is you saw the batters. He tried to pull it, and that's why you see him spinning out a little bit. That was a low curve going away. You got to try to go to the opposite field with it.
Coppin's 0-2 pitch. And the pitch. Little high, 1-2. Not bad, He had a pitch to waste.
Yeah, he took it. If you notice, his arm slot changed on that one. It was a little more sidearm than it was 3/4.
Yes, yeah.
Tried to give him a different look.
And the 1-2 pitch. And a line shot to center field. Base hit, and that's going to score Richardson, and Bristol's going to get on the board here. And good at bat by Lozier, and great job by Bristol. They're on the board. So a 2-out. Base hit the center, and it's now 2-1 Avon.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting that time by Lozier. That's what happens a lot of times. You see a guy throw the fastball up, and they never throw it up again. They always go back to the curveball low and away, and I think Lozier was waiting for it as he just tattooed that thing.
Right.
He certainly was not fooled.
And that'll bring up the number 6 hitter, Plantamaro, the shortstop. Let's see what Coppin does here. Little low, 1-0. You know, first time sign of trouble, Steve. You know, let's see how he does here.
Yep.
He does have 2 outs, so, you know, you can't expect perfection from
and
these
I'm
pitchers.
looking at Lozier down there at first base. Let's see how many stolen bases he has, right? Lozier.
And the 1-0. A little low, 2-0, and maybe
he doesn't have any yet. So
Zaronsky may want to go talk to Coppin. Just settle him down a little bit. He looks like his control's a little off the last couple batters. And the 2-0 pitch. And a ground ball. That's going to go to the third baseman, and he's going to go to first. In time. Nice play by the first baseman, Upstrad, and just like that, the inning is over, and Coppin gets out of further damage.
Yeah,
Score
nice
in the middle of the fourth, 2-1, Avon.
Yeah, nice play that time by Olstead as he ran up the line to make that tag.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
Alright, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Bang.
And we are back. It's the bottom of the 5th, and Jeremy Zaronsky is up, and he takes a ball. And the 1-0, and popped up, out of play, 1-1.
I think it might be the bottom of the 4th, isn't it?
Yeah, bottom of the 4th. Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at that scoreboard out there. That's the one advantage of having a scoreboard. It gives us that little bit of a reminder sometimes.
Yeah. And and that's a high fly ball hit deep to center, but it's playable. And the center fielder Ramus makes the play. Quickly, 1 out.
Yeah, Rasmus did a nice job of running that ball down onto right center. I tell you, he covers a lot of ground. I've watched him this year, a couple of games. The kid covers a lot of ground out there in right center and left field. Maybe that's because he plays in Muzzy, which is so big.
It's possible.
He can afford to play deep.
Yeah. That'll bring up the 5th batter, Ryan Alstad, and the pitch. Low, 1-0.
Yeah, Olstead only batting .201 coming into the game, but he has 9 stolen bases, 3 walks.
Yeah.
7 runs scored.
Olstead did, though, have a base hit to right field. Good at bat.
First?
Oh, and a play at first, and he's out. Oh, my God. What a play by the right fielder right there. That was Mike Lemke, and great play by Lemke. He hustled all the way right there, and it's not every day you see a base hit to right field as an out. Well, so there's quickly 2 outs.
Yeah, contrast that with the bloop single and ended up scoring 2 runs, right? I mean, Lemke that time made a great play. That's what happens in the wood bats. You can play a little shallow in right field, sort of like a French Park one over there, but... Yeah, great play.
Swung on and missed, strike 1.
So that'll be scored 9-3, right?
Right.
That was an F8.
Yep. And that is Chris Jacobs up at the plate now, the number 6 batter, low, 1-1. Jacobs flew out to left field his first time up. And a 1-1 pitch. low, 2-1.
Well, we'll be at Guilford's Field tomorrow night, Mike. Game against Meriden, 15-9 Guilford against 20-4 Meriden.
The 2-1 pitch. And a high fly ball to center, but playable. And the center fielder, Rasmus, brings it in, and quickly 3 up, 3 down, and we will go to the top of the 5th. At the end of 4, Bristol 2, or Avon 2, Bristol 1.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
SportingNewsCT.com is now streaming your team's big game. SportingNewsCT.com is Connecticut's broadcast home for high school sports, college sports, and American Legion baseball. Whether it's football, soccer, basketball, hockey, baseball, softball, or lacrosse, we stream it live. Can't watch the game live? Then check out our on-demand rebroadcast. Want a keepsake? Download an audio broadcast or order a DVD. There's more. SportingNewsCT.com features interviews with coaches, players, and administrators. The game's on. SportingNewsCT.com. SportingNewsCT.com is now streaming your team's big game. SportingNewsCT.com is Connecticut's broadcast home for high school sports, college sports, and American Legion baseball. Whether it's football, soccer, basketball, hockey, baseball, softball, or lacrosse, we stream it live. Can't watch the game live? Then check out our on-demand rebroadcast. Want a keepsake? Download an audio broadcast or order a DVD. There's more. SportingNewsCT.com features interviews with coaches, players, and administrators. The game's on. Sporting News CT.
Good.
And we're in the top of the 5th, and Rasmus leads off, and he takes a ball, or ball 1. 1-0, and a good game here so far tonight in Avon. Both teams have played very well. It's been a pitcher's duel tonight.
Big important run after Richardson bombed that ball to left field, Mike. That was really important to get that first run.
Yeah, and 2-0 pitch. And Rasmus is the center fielder tonight. And that's a strike. 2-1. You know, Steve, Coppin's thrown great tonight, as has Knox. Both pitchers have done very well.
Both pitchers done a very good job.
And the 2-1 pitch and a ground ball, and that's going to go to the shortstop. That's Throman. He throws to first, and he gets him. Barely, but he got him. And good play by the shortstop.
Yep, that's why good teams usually have a great shortstop, and they certainly do that time. As Will Throman has shown that he can make the plays over there. Especially in a field that's a little bit soft today. Balls go traveling slow through the infield.
Yeah. And Coppin's pitch. And the batter is Jalen Benoit, the designated hitter.
Yeah, Benoit with that red-barreled wooden bat. White and red batting gloves.
And the pitch, low. And the count is 2-0.
Yeah, outfield basically playing them to pull. Left fielder out there, a little shallow. It's Emery. Kyle
and the 2-0 pitch, and 3-0. I thought that was a strike, but I guess not.
Third base coach just gave the batter a look and said, "You got take a pitch." You know.
Right. And he walks him on 4 pitches. Wow.
That one didn't look too bad. It must have been outside.
Yeah. But he gets the walk. Good job by Benoit, and a 1-out walk for Bristol.
Okay, that's the first. First walk, I believe, right, for Copen?
Yeah. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Mike Lemke, who made a great play in the field the last inning on a base hit. That looked like a base hit.
Yeah, I know.
He fired it right into first.
Yep. Made up a little bit for that first inning.
And the pitch. And called for a first strike. 0-1.
Yeah, Copen will be looking to try to get that ground ball double play. It's going to be hard to turn double plays with a soft infield, grass a little bit raised a little bit because of the rain.
And he goes back to first, and he's back safely.
You can see the lacrosse players out there in left field running around. They must have a team over here. I'm looking behind us.
Lacrosse has become very big. And the 0-1 pitch, and he goes back to first, a little high, a little dangerous right there, but good play by the first baseman, Violet.
Yeah, Coppin that time almost stepped a little bit too far towards home plate as he spun around to get that one first.
And Coppin's 0-1. The pitch. And he bluffs at a bunt, and he doesn't, and it's a called strike. The count is 0-2 on Lemke. I wouldn't bunt here with one out, so it had to just be a bluff.
Or he was trying to get a bunt single, but, the infielder's already up.
Yeah. Coppin goes back to first, and he gets back safely. Does Benoit.
Benoit on the season has a couple of stolen bases. It's not a lot when you consider the number of games they've played.
And the 1-2 pitch. Little high. Count 2-2.
Well, as we said, tomorrow I'll be at Guilford and Meriden. Berlin, New Britain. Don Boyle will be at Berlin, Sachem. Was it Sachem? No, Zippodelli Field up there in Sachem Park.
And Coppin fires, and it's high. And that'll bring the count to 2-2. I was mistaken before. It was 1-2. Now it's 2-2. Big pitch right here. And he goes back to first again. And Lemke must be a threat, Steve, because he's looked him back several times. So, I would assume Lemke is. And if you're Lemke, you got to get in scoring position.
Well,
you want to get that second run in any way you can.
He only has about a 3-step lead, though. It's not like he has this humongous lead.
And the 2-2 pitch. And a ground ball. That's going to go to the third baseman, Williamson. He throws to first, and he's safe. Good hustle by Lemke.
Yeah, that time the third baseman brought the ball to his chest and tapped his glove with the ball. And that split second just took too long to get rid of it. Call that an infield single, I'm sure.
Yeah. Would you score it?
Call that an infield single.
Yeah.
It was really slow hit.
Yeah.
There's no official score here, so we're it, Mike. So, want to give him a hit? Let's give him a hit. So that's what, their fourth hit?
Yep. So let's put it up there. And Bristol now is in business. They got 2 on, 1 out, and that'll bring up the first place hitter, Ben Mazzone.
Yeah. Well, if you're the pitcher, you're saying to yourself, hey, what do I got to do? Right?
Yeah.
I got a nice ground ball, and I don't have an out.
And that's a strike. Count is 0-1. Good pitch by Coppin. See what Coppin does here.
Yep. He's got that curveball that breaks down, and by the time it hits the plate, it's at the knees or slightly below it.
And the 0-1 pitch. A little low, 1-1.
Yep. And he tries to throw that a little bit sidearm to keep it lower, I guess.
Steve, it is the 5th inning, and I think pitchers at this age do tire as the game goes on. He hasn't been as sharp, but he's still battling and still doing a good job. And the 1-1 pitch. And a foul tip. Count is 1-2.
Yeah, that was a reach pitch. Reach bat that
pretty
time
much,
by the hitter Mazzone.
See what he does here. His third time at bat. And the 1-2 pitch. Runners take a short lead. The pitch. And a ground ball. That's going to go to the shortstop, Thwarman. He throws to second, and he gets him. And barely, but he did get him. He gets it to Jacobs.
Scored down with a fielder's choice, 6-4.
Yeah.
Tying run only 90 feet away now. Let's see what Bristol does, first and third.
And that'll bring up the second place hitter, Corey Fredette. And he's 0 for 2 on the day.
There's going to be an offensive conference as well as a defensive conference out there. The runner on first goes all the way over to talk to his coach. And now the head coach for Avon goes out there. That's manager Dom Anicelli. His assistant manager is Ben Susky. Pete DiLalio is the pitching coach.
Dom has done a great job, as we mentioned. He put the field together tonight. And, it was not easy, Steve. This field wasn't looking great, and he made it look beautiful tonight.
Yeah, it must have rained here earlier. The coaches from Bristol, not to forget them, Jerry LaPenta, head coach. A host of others for Bristol, Rick Lemke, Jerry LaPenta Jr., Alex Monaco, Joe Torin. Jay Benukar is the administrative assistant. Kyle Curran is an intern. General manager, good friend Paula Floor. Assistant manager, my good friend Dave Greenleaf.
And Fredette is up at the plate with 2 outs. This is a big run for Bristol. Let's see what they could do.
Yeah, what a lead
Coppin
on first
pitches,
base.
And it's low, 1-0. And, Steve, a lot of baseball, as we said. We got games everywhere, and we also have the Major League All-Star game tonight.
Look at his lead at first base, Mike. They want him to throw over. He's trying to bait the first baseman to throw long. if I were the pitcher, Major League rules, you can't fake a throw to third.
And low, 2-0. And Coppin's a little wild this inning, Steve.
Yeah.
He's battled, though, but, behind in the count again. Got to be careful with a 2-0 pitch here, especially to Fredette, who's a dangerous hitter. And the 2-0, and that's a strike.
Yep, good low strike.
Yep. And the count is 2-1 with 2 outs. And Avon nursing a 2-1 lead right now.
Yeah, look at the size of that lead over there first. They're
and
baiting
the sun is
Coppin,
back out, Steve.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch.
They're baiting him to throw to first.
High, 3-1, and this is a big pitch here, 3-1 count.
Yeah.
Coppin's got to be careful, the Fredette.
Yeah, you got to pitch to Chad Richardson. If he steals second, they may if he gets, you don't want to have bases loaded here for Richardson.
Coppin's 3-1, and that's a strike. Beautiful pitch, 3-2. Good fastball right there by Coppin, and all runners will be running on this pitch here.
Yeah.
And you could rest assured if he gets a base hit, chances are they may get 2 out of this.
He might as well just keep on walking off first. He gets such a huge lead, and they're not even going to bother with him.
No.
He's just ignoring him.
And
the coach is telling him to forget it. Just stay with him.
You know what, Steve?
Don't get baited by that.
Yeah, when you get baited like that, that's when mistakes happen. And his run doesn't matter right now. Right now it's the batter. That's what matters. And a 3-2 to Fredette with 2 outs. 2-1 lead for Avon. And he's going. He goes easily. And ball 4. The bases are loaded. This is going to bring up the dangerous third-place hitter, Chad Richardson.
Yeah, we'll see what that is. The coach, the general manager.
And it looks like he's going to make a change.
He's going to make a change, maybe.
Yep.
And he certainly is. And we'll let you know who the new pitcher is.
And a great job by Coppin tonight.
Yep. And with the bases loaded and their top batter coming up for Bristol, we'll let you know who the new pitcher is on the flip side.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
you're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
It is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I would encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
And we are back, and the third baseman, Brady Williamson, will replace Coppin as pitcher, and coming into third base will be the designated hitter, Justin Olson. So I would assume now Avon loses the DH, Steve.
Yeah, DH enters the game. They lose the DH, and they move things around a little bit. Have to see how they're playing with the lineup. Some unique things you could do with your lineup with that designated hitter. You can only DH for the pitcher, but once he enters his game, and all other things go crazy a little bit.
And this is a big moment for Williamson. This is bases loaded, 2 outs. Coppin did a great job, Steve.
Yep.
He really did. He just
did.
He just kind of lost it a little bit in the last couple batters.
Well, every game might comes down to one batter, maybe one situation. This looks like it, really, when you think about it. They have a 2-1 lead. Your big hitter up at the plate, your number 3 hitter, your best power hitter. He's already got a double.
And the pitch, and it's high, 1-0. And this is, you got to be careful with this batter, Steve. This guy's got a lot of power. He almost,
I know.
He took one to left field last time up and really hammered it in the 1-0 pitch. high
2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to walk them, Steve.
Yeah, you walk the tie and run across.
Yeah. You know, you got to put the ball in play. And Williamson deals 2-0. And that's a high fly ball to center, but it should be playable for the center fielder, Susky. And he makes the catch, and great job by Williamson. No harm, no foul. And the middle of the fifth, we are still Avon 2, Bristol 1.
All right, I'll take it.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
And we are back, and we go to the bottom of the fifth, and Knox is still out there, Stephen. Great job by Brady Williamson getting out of trouble. It was a 2-0 count, and he got him to fly out to the center fielder, Susky. So great job by Williamson.
Well, Coppin was doing very well. He had the walks here and there. He had just the 2 walks in that inning, which really is what hurt him. But, he dipsy-doodled his way out of it, so to speak, and Williamson coming in to get the biggest hitter for Bristol, Chad Richardson. I mean, that's a pivotal point in the game right there, no matter how this game goes out. You got bases loaded. You got your number 3 batter up there. You can't ask for anything better on the offensive side.
You really can't. And this will bring up the number 8 hitter and the pitcher, Brady Williamson. Kyle Emery, the 7th place hitter. And the pitch from Knox is low, 1-0.
Haven't seen anybody warming up in the bullpen for Bristol, but that doesn't mean much. It could be the next pitcher's on the field somewhere.
And the 1-0 pitch to Emery, and swing and a miss, 1-1. And Steve, one thing I noticed about Knox, he's going very fast. He's not wasting any time. He's right back out there.
Well, the old saying is when things are good, you just keep moving.
And the 1-1. And a pop-up, and I lost it. Maybe you could see it, and it went behind us.
Yep.
And that'll bring the count to 1-2.
Well, we're perched behind home plate here. No press box or anything. So hit that sun trying to right beaming in on us.
And the 1-2 pitch. And a high fly ball out of play.
Another ball out of play into the woods. They'll never find that thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Steve. That ball goes in the twilight. I'm starting to lose it. And Williams Knox is dealing quick. The 1-2 pitch and high goes over his head. Dangerous pitch right there, 2-2.
And watching Emery, though, he's having trouble with that outside pitch. He's sort of like slapping it just to protect himself instead of really going after it.
And the 2-2 pitch from Knox. And swung on and missed, strike 3. Good pitch by Knox. And Emery is down on strikes.
Yeah, good hard fastball. Knox not showing any signs of throwing any slower.
And that'll bring up the 8th place hitter and also the pitcher now, Brady Williamson. And Knox deals. And a pop-up out of play.
Yeah, they're losing baseballs, I'll tell you that much. You ain't going to find those things. They could try, but...
Tell you what, if the kids go venturing into the woods, they'll get some baseballs.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You get ticks and all kinds of things back there,
And the 0-1 and 1-1.
This is Avon. This ain't Derby. It ain't Sonia or the Valley or something,
Tell you, Williamson is a big kid too, Steve. I mean, he's definitely a very tall kid. 1-1 pitch. And a ground ball, and that's going to go through. And played by the shortstop, not a bad play, but he overthrows the first baseman. He overthrows Violet, and Williamson will easily take second. And I would say that's a
I would say that's a single and an error.
Single and an error.
Yeah, let's give him a single on the, because I think he would have beat it out.
Right.
Made a great play spinning, but he just didn't have enough balance to throw it.
Now bring up the number 9 hitter, Joe Susky. Steve, again, Susky made a great play. Or actually, no, I stand corrected. That was Lemke. But Susky's made a couple good plays out there tonight.
Yep.
And a 1-out single and error. And Avon's got a guy in scoring position.
Yeah.
Let's see what Susky could do here.
Only the third single so far, third hit for Avon.
I'll tell you what, Steve. Knox is still throwing hard, though.
That's what I mean.
He hasn't
He's still
slowed
pumping
down
it in
all.
there.
Yeah. And the 1-0 pitch from Knox. Short lead by Williamson at second base. The 1-0 pitch. And out of play.
Straight
foul
back.
ball.
That one, I don't know if they can find that thing. And you see a couple birds pop up as soon as the ball hit.
Tell you, until this inning, Steve, most of the balls have been in play. This inning, they definitely decided they don't
Usually
want.
it's the other way around. You know,
Yeah.
you see the foul balls early on when the batters can't catch up to the hitters. You know?
Now, 1-1 pitch from Knox, and he steps off the mound. Time was called.
Yep.
But Knox is still dealing. I mean, he hasn't shown any signs. First inning, he gave up 2 runs. He's been brilliant since. And the 1-1 and that's out of play again. And
that's
tell you
another
what,
baseball. Get that nearest sports store, find out what it is. And the only thing they have to be careful of is they don't get one of those lacrosse balls coming into the game.
Oh, yeah.
Happened to us this year against in a high school game, Mike Seymour against Oxford, where an unofficial baseball went into the field. Yeah, and our pitcher threw it, their kid hit it, and it was all kinds of controversy broke out.
1-2 pitch, and he swings and misses, and he'll have to throw it to first base, and does, and a strikeout for Knox, and that'll bring up the first place hitter Del Gallo, who's had a very good night, a single. And a base on ball. He's been perfect thus far.
Yeah, Knox getting stronger as the innings going by. That's his third strikeout.
I'll tell you right now, you know, Bristol, if they could get through this inning, Steve, you never know. I mean, they just need 1 run. They got to get that 1 run in.
Yeah.
But, again, a dangerous batter in Del Gallo. He puts the ball in play. He's had a good year. He's hitting over 400, so it won't be an easy task right now. And Knox delivers. Low, and good stop by the catcher, Chad Richardson. Good job by Richardson.
Yep. Is that him? That's still Richardson out there. Yep.
Yeah.
Looks a little different with all the sweat rolling down his face.
Steve, right? I'll tell you, both teams do not have anybody that's, you know, a short kid. These kids are all big boys, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And the 1-0 from Knox to Del Gallo.
Except maybe the pitchers. They're like the shortest guys on their teams, right?
I know, right? And time is called. You know, Steve, I don't know if Del Gallo has another year of high school, but if he does, you know.
Yeah.
And the 1-0 pitch. And that's a good pitch by Knox. Curveball, and he gets a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, that one was sort of like ran at the batter, then broke down right on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah. And with 2 outs and a runner at second, this is a big out here. And a 1-1 pitch. And Knox deals low, and that's going to get the runner to, and he's going to throw to third, but the runner's, Steve, bad play. Should have just kept it, and that's going to score another run for Avon. And that was, Steve, I would have held that ball, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to throw it, you want to make sure your feet are set. And on that play, Chad Richardson, he threw it with his feet weren't set, and he tried to sidearm it down there, and that's why that happened.
Yeah, and that cost him right there, Steve.
Yeah, big time.
And it's now 3-1 Avon. Yep. And low.
You know, and you can't blame the pitcher Knox. You know, he's only given up 3 total. I mean, 2 hits in this game.
You know, Steve.
Both in the first inning.
And a high fly ball to center, that should be playable for the center fielder Rasmus. And he gets it, and that'll retire the side. But a big insurance run, and at the end of 5, it's Avon 3, Bristol 1.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
All right, right back here at Buckingham Park. And we got a good one here. 2-1 ball game still in favor of Avon post 201. Is the Avon so far 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. For Bristol, they've gotten 1 run on a total of 4 hits, and they left 5 runners on base, as I remember, because they had the bases loaded. They left it on in that big 5th inning, top of the 5th. We're moving on to the top of the 6th inning now. Up for Bristol is Jake Violet, the first baseman, grounded to short his first time up, then had a very strange catcher unassisted tag his last time up, Mike, and that ball just bounced in front of home plate.
Oh, I know. That was crazy.
So there it is, a ground ball to short, and this time Will Throman gets it on the run, throws it, it bounces. Did they drop it? No, they're going to say he dropped it. It looked like he had it. Then when he went to show it to the umpire a little bit, the ball was like sort of missing there.
Yeah, he definitely dropped it, Steve. And it was a tough play. And, Bristol needed that. They need to get runners on, Yep. You can't think about trying to tie it. You got to get 1 runner on at a time.
Yeah, and now they got their leadoff runner on here in the 6th. Still on the mound is Brady Williamson, who came in to pitch to Chad Richardson last inning and got out of it when Richardson hit a fly ball. So now they got to run on first, see if they try to bunt it all. They don't. And there's a first pitch down low, ball 1 to Anthony Lozier. Lozier singled his last time up, grounded out to short his first time up. And Williamson comes set, his gloves right around chest high as he deals. There's a ground ball between third and short. Backhandings the shortstop, gets it. He'll have to go to first. He does. No scoop, and that's going to be an infield single, a long throw by Throman. And now Bristol threatens with runners on first and second with that infield single. That's their 5th hit of the day. And if there's their first hit, obviously, off of Mr. Williamson.
Steve, you got to feel a little bit for Throman. He made 2 great plays, and, it's just bad luck. The throw was just a little off, but he made 2 great, plays.
Fielding plays, yeah.
And it's just bad luck. But that's what Bristol needs, Steve, and they're in business right now, and they really have to get this guy from second to home.
Yep, first and second, nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. He brings up Noah Plantamuro. Noah has got a single his first time up, grounded out to short to second. So I got the feeling that, they'll probably turn 2 in the middle as the first baseman comes up on the edges, does the third baseman. They show bunt, and there's a no bunt. Whoa, they got the runner hung up a little, but then they don't throw it. The runner had a big lead, anticipating that ball dropped down. On the left side of the infield, Avon pulled a wheel with the shortstop coming over. Now he's slow to return to his spot. You wonder, I tell you, a big hole between short and second base now.
Steve, I don't know if I would bunt here, though. You don't want to give up an out. I mean, you give up an out.
Yeah.
And this pitcher's wild right now. I would think right now.
Or maybe they're just faking it until somebody gets a strike. Right. So there's 2-0 now, I think, to the batter, right? Well, let's see if they wheel. They're not wheeling on the right side. A little unusual at first and second. So second baseman, bird dogging the runner at second. So he's going to have to hold. If he bunts that ball up the first base side, now it's 3-0, so he'll be taken all the way.
Yeah. And Williamson is definitely wild, Steve.
Yeah. So the situation here is that Avon's doing a wheel on the left side, and they're anchoring on the right side. And that's ball 4.
Him. Wow.
Yep, and he walked him his right. So now the bases are loaded for Bristol here in the 6th with nobody out. And that's going to bring up Jaden Rasmus. They'll have the 7, 8, 9 batters now. They'll see if they bring the infield up. Out comes manager Don Anicelli, coming out to talk to the pitcher, Williamson. Williamson came in with the bases loaded his first time up, and now he decides, they got the bases loaded again, so he's got to pitch the bases loaded for the second time here this evening.
You know, Steve, two unfortunate plays that, resulted in hits.